Good morning. I'm delighted to be here in Ballinasloe today with our MEP Colm Markey and distinguished guests. You're all very welcome. I'm pleased to be here today at Europe Direct Ballinasloe Public Library. The Europe Direct Centre here in Ballinasloe is one of 7 centres around Ireland, which are managed by the Public Library Service. The service and professionalism shown by the staff of the Library Service and their embrace of new technologies over the last few years enabled them to deliver a range of online services which supported people across the country during multiple lockdowns. Libraries have shown themselves to be at the forefront of change and innovation, and it is this focus on the future and on delivery of high quality information which makes the partnership with Europe Direct a natural fit. The Europe Direct network has been established to actively promote European citizenship within schools and colleges, to organise citizens' debates and information sessions, and to provide factual and timely information on a wide range of European policies, supports and services. With the geopolitical and environmental changes we have seen over the last few years, as well as the more recent pandemic, it has become clearer than ever that accurate, factual information must be accessible to the public in order to ensure democratic stability. The Europe Direct network provides the means and the opportunity for EU citizens to access information, to find out about opportunities for study, apprenticeships and working in Europe, to learn about EU policies and to raise their concerns, issues and queries about the direction that Europe is taking on particular topics. Europe Direct Ballinasloe has a wide remit, providing information, support and services to EU citizens from Clare, Galway, Longford and Roscommon. The events and discussions organised by the Europe Direct network will enable councils, businesses, schools and organisations working in each of these counties to build new relationships with each other and with Europe. These relationships will help us to share ideas, find solutions to common problems and find innovative ways to build a positive future for our counties, for Ireland and for Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here today for the opening of the Europe Direct Centre in Ballinasloe. Particularly around the like of apprenticeships and not that it's just academic, if you like, and that it's for ordinary people as well. But I think this is only one of the examples of how young people can engage with the likes of the Europe Direct Centre. The other thing I would say that's happening at European level that's probably worth mentioning is there's a big push at the moment to get more people involved in the institutions in Europe through like the opportunities that it presents. What I referred to earlier, back at the start of our engagement with Europe, we were very heavily involved in the likes of the Commission and all the various institutions that are there. In more recent years, our pipeline of people coming through those institutions has got less, and we need to do something to help to encourage more people to get involved. And through the like of the Europe Direct Centre, we can highlight the opportunities that are available in Europe, both career opportunities, but also we can highlight the conversation that needs to happen about where we want Europe to go in the future. And I think that's something that there's a political, if you like, frustration there at the minute among a lot of people about a disconnect. And it's not just about the centre, it's about the idea of building a network, a Europe Direct network through the centre, which equally will help to add to that conversation. So I think the fact that Europe is looking at the conference on the future of Europe, trying to identify the priorities going forward, it's very timely that through that Europe Direct network and through the Europe Direct Centre here, we can attract more people in to get involved in all things Europe, because it's a key part of Ireland. Ireland has always been a very strong pro-European country, and it has always been to our benefit, and that's something we need to continue into the future. I think it's something that the like of the centre here could play a big part, and particularly so close to the primary school and the other schools in what is a wonderful relatively new library here in Ballinasloe. It's just great to have the opportunity to have it here. The other thing, just while I am here, I was lucky to have a tour of town with Senator Aisling Dolan this morning and saw all that's happening in Ballinasloe. And look, I've come through Ballinasloe up and down over the years, and I have to say, the Ballinasloe that I see today is a different Ballinasloe that I would have seen 5 or 10 years ago. The whole regeneration of the street front, if you like, in terms of the upgraded the street, the facilities, the shop fronts, so many of them have been upgraded, and so many of the other little investments that are going on and proposed to go on. I know there's talk about the bank becoming a remote working hub, which is the next step in terms of developing the town. And I think the idea of trying to make, look, I come from rural Ireland like everybody else here, and so often we spend our time looking at people commuting to the big cities, and everything's like a magnet from the big cities pulling out of the rural communities. And we need to invest in our rural towns, the like of a broadband infrastructure, the likes of remote working hubs that allow people work in their own community and develop their own community. Because the multiplier that has in the local community is enormous. And if we can invest in towns like this and get the people working locally, buying their coffee in the local shop, playing for the local football team, whatever the case may be, that's what reinvigorates rural Ireland. And it's initiatives like this here, plus all the rest that's going on in the like of Ballinasloe, is what really will rebuild rural Ireland. And to be honest, I've looked at Ballinasloe today, and I would have said a number of years ago, Ballinasloe had a lot of challenges, but I have to say how much it's evolved in the last number of years is incredible. I think it's a credit to everyone here. I think it's interesting the people are invited. They're like the local development company, the regional authority I think are here, the leader company are here. There's so many of the stakeholders that are key to building a town like Ballinasloe. So look, I think it's a credit to it. This is another step along the way, and I think it's a credit to the town as a whole. But I'd just like to come back to the original, which is we need to focus a lot about where Europe is going. We're having that conversation at European level. It could be about a European army or European defence. It could be about corporation tax, or it could be just about the people on the ground, the ordinary person, and what matters to them. So there's all sorts of potential about vaccination programmes, there's all sorts of potential about cancer research, dementia research, and collectively at European level what we could do that would make a real difference to ordinary people, particularly younger people who may be disconnected from it. And I would urge any young person to come in to the Europe Direct Centre here and see what opportunities are for them out there and what at European level in terms of policy is relevant to them, because they need to shape the future, not people like us. And by coming in here, that's where they can start that engagement. So look, I've probably gone on a little long, but I'm just delighted to be here, and I really think it's a great initiative, and hopefully you can build on it through the network and get plenty of young people involved in that too. Thank you. Oh, now I'll do the I'm not used to these formalities. Now I'll do the very special unveiling of the plaque. So there we go.